almost time for horoscopes with Turn to the Stars. Now I'll never know what my future holds in store. Time for horoscopes with Turn to the Stars.
Hi, I'm Andrea Klim, and you are watching Turn to the Stars, and today I'm going to be doing a horoscope for each of the zodiac signs for the new moon that has just occurred today in Capricorn. And I want to say a big thank you to Big Deal Video for recording and directing the show today. And so here we go. We're going to go ahead and talk about the Capricorn new moon, which occurred at exactly 12:12 a.m. as we started the new day of January 13th. As you all know, we are in a very, very important time in our evolution of humanity, and this new moon in Capricorn has occurred at 23 degrees in the sign with Pluto right next to it, and we have a huge stellium of Aquarian energy that's present here also. This is not the easiest chart to look at, however, it is also very, very important as we all go through this time in our history on this earth. And this is a time, this new moon indicates that it is very important to the business world, to the government, to everyone's career. This is a time of letting go what no longer serves us, what no longer works, anything that involves control or it's just about letting go of what is not serving us as a whole in humanity. That brings in this energy of all around our careers and around government and big structures and control. With Pluto next to it, it's basically just wiping the slate clean. And so we need to let these things die that are not important to us in our evolution. So you're going to see, as this new moon comes, this new theme of new structures coming in as the old ones fall away. We can certainly see that in our government right now. So I'm going to go ahead and start and talk about each one of the signs and what that means to you. And I also have some exciting added component to this, which is some animal cards. As you know, I'm also a shamanic practitioner, and nature is very, very wise. And so with this earth energy of Capricorn, I'm going to be looking at each one of the signs and what that looks like and what that energy is that surrounds us and what that means for you for the next 2 weeks as we move toward the full moon, which will be illuminating this energy of Capricorn. Aries, the first sign of the zodiac, and what this new moon brings to you as an Aries is a big, huge change in your career, where you're going in this world, what your reputation is. And so I would encourage you to take it very slow in any area that is to do with money, relationships. There's a lot of healing going on for you right now. Put your energy, focus it on what you feel in your heart that you're passionate about, emotionally, spiritually, and as far as what you love. For a rising sign Aries is to focus your heart, your energy on where you're going in this world and what that looks like to you. And if it's not something that you truly love, let it go, move on, and find that place that speaks to your heart. And so I'm going to pull an animal card that is associated, that this is animal wisdom. And as we know, nature is very, very wise. And so we're going to see what the message is for the Capricorn new moon for the Aries. And that is the tortoise. And the tortoise, as you can see, is a very slow-moving creature. It's the turtle. And it's looking up to the sky. It's looking up to the heavens. It's looking up for guidance. And the message here for you, the Aries, is you're too fragmented, so do whatever it takes to get grounded. That means it's time to slow down, take your time, recognize the obstacles that are in your road, respect them, honor them, and look to the heavens for guidance. Taurus. And this new moon in Capricorn for the Taurus rise or Taurus sun sign is again, this is also very much associated with what you believe in, and gathering information which is beyond what you have already known, and to stay focused on what you believe in. And relationships at this time are actually going to be very, very filled with spirit, filled with a certain type of groundedness, and just a love for different culture, different understanding, different, look at different belief systems, because that is where you're going to find a lot of wonderful support. And the truth, this next 2 weeks is going to be very, very important for you. So pay attention to what feels like it's true and what feels like it's not. And for me, when I hear the truth, I call them God bumps all over, and that's telling me I'm hearing the truth. So pay attention to your body, pay attention to what you feel is important, and just that's where the value is for you for this next 2 weeks. And the animal card that's associated with this new moon cycle, this new theme that's unfolding over the course of the next 2 weeks is the camel. And as you can see, the camel is surrounded by blue, and very close to it purple, which is a highly spiritual energy. And the blue is emotion. It means that there's a lot of emotion attached to this new path for you. And the message here is trust that you have the resources to get through the challenges before you. So trust and believe and have faith. That's your message for this next 2 weeks as we slowly grow toward that full light of that full moon that's coming at the end of the month. And I'll be coming back to talk to you more about that as that energy approaches. So let's move on to now talk about Gemini. So for the Gemini sun sign or Gemini rising sign, the focus for you is going to be very much on the truth, on your, whether it be your religion, your belief systems, your culture. There's a huge sign here saying stop, hold on, take your time, look at both sides of everything, and find your center, find your what makes sense to you, and just take some time to sit with that, because that's the most important thing. And there is a lot that's transitioning in your life right now, and the glue that binds you together truly is the people that surround you. Listen to what they say, listen to what they feel is helpful to you, and that's going to help you quite a bit. And but your spirit at this time is very, very bright, and there's a lot of power, there's a lot of treasure in the truth, and gathering information which is beyond what you already have. So that's where the power is for you. And the animal card that's associated with for all the Geminis out there, your message for the next 2 weeks around this new theme is interesting, the chimpanzee. And you can see that he is surrounded by green. Green is a creative color. It is a color that is very fertile. So if you're trying to get pregnant, this would be a good time for you. And you can see that he's smiling and he's kind of looking to the side. So, that's kind of interesting with Gemini, because Gemini is easily distracted. And the message here is use both your intuition and your intellect to solve the problem or get answers to your questions. So pay attention to that little voice in your head that's telling you yes or no. And that's very important, because that's your connection to the spirit, your guiding spirit. So chimpanzee, the next 2 weeks is going to be very important. So, and here's something you can do if you're interested. If you see an animal on your path as you are out in the world, you can always do a Google search and put in there shamanism, spiritual meaning of whatever that animal is, and you'll get some natural nature's guidance, because animals cross our path for important reasons. There's no mistake in what we experience in our lives as we walk through the day. So if you run across, or an animal runs across your path, take a look at it on Google. Just put in shamanism, spiritual meaning of hawk. So if that's what crosses your path. So that's for Gemini. And we're going to move on now to talk about Cancer. So if you're a Cancer sun sign or Cancer rising sign in your chart, and by rising sign I mean the zodiac sign that rules your birth chart. And if you are interested in finding that out, you need your time of birth. And you can always contact me at Andrea at Turn to the Stars to get your birth chart. So if you're a Cancer rising sign or a Cancer sun sign, this new moon cycle brings in this new theme around relationships, personal relationships, business relationships. And there's this opposites attract type of thing going on, this energy, because this new moon is opposite your sun sign. So that means that there's going to be a huge awareness along your path of differences, but also likeness. And there could be people that come on your path at this time that you might say, oh, that's a little bit uncomfortable for me, but I would urge you to pay attention to what that awareness is, because it could be a very special relationship connection that's developing over the course of these next 2 weeks. So the animal card associated with this Cancer sun sign or Cancer rising sign is the manatee. And the manatee is actually, I always think of a manatee as a big lovable creature that's, like a big teddy bear. And it's swimming through the very fertile oceans. You can see the green and the purple. It's a very highly sensitive creature. So intuitively, for me, that means to pay attention to the environment that you're swimming through. It's very, very important. Make sure that you're putting yourself in a positive environment. Surround yourself by positive people. Very, very important. Accept the situation as it is rather than fighting to change it. So it's also about swimming through and not running from or hiding from what is true, what is real, what is important for you to know. So pay attention to what other people say and make your own decision about what you feel is best for you. But rather than running away, swim through it, because this is very fertile times for you, and there's going to be some very important relationships that develop over the course of the next 2 weeks. So now we're moving on to Leo. So if you're a Leo sun sign or Leo rising sign, this is going to be a very important 2 weeks around your day-to-day life, your day-to-day work, the structures, your responsibility, and you're going to want to be very careful about expressing your own interests at this time, because there's a lot of people that are very, very upset right now about all the political issues that are going on. And so Leo likes to be heard, likes to be recognized, likes to be known. So I would encourage you to be careful. Take your time before expressing your heart. Pay attention to your work. Really put yourself into that creative mode, because what you're building right now is going to be very important toward your future. And there is a sense of seriousness that is associated with this for you. Leo's typically the fun-loving one, the playful one, the one that likes to get out and just enjoy life and play all kinds of games. This, though, should be a more serious time for you. So the animal card associated with this path for you is the kiwi. Do a walking meditation each day for the next week. And as you can see, the kiwi is looking down at the ground. So there's a sense of groundedness that is very important toward your health and well-being these next 2 weeks. And that is very, very special. So pay attention to the world that surrounds you. Pay attention to the ground. And whether it's a walking meditation, a running meditation, a sitting meditation, or even a shamanic journey, anything that helps you to be present and grounded and mindful of where you're at before you speak, very, very important. So Leo, I'd say that the most important message here is that there is abundance in being present in your work and in your day-to-day life, and also recognizing that you're here to serve and that there's certain responsibilities that you might need to let go of, but there's also ones that are going to be very fruitful for you. So if you go too fast, you're going to miss it. So that's the message for Leo. Virgo. So if you're a Virgo sun sign or a Virgo ascendant ruling your birth chart, this is going to be a very creative period for you. Very, very creative. And so you're going to want to do things that are fun. You're going to want to get out of your comfort zone, get out of your house, make sure that you're staying safe, put your mask on. I use something called a Pro Mask that you can find on Google, PRO mask. And it is very, very safe, and if you spray it with thieves essential oils, you're going to be very, very safe because you've got a lot of protection. Virgo is very much interested in the health and well-being, and this is a time where you can create something that's very, very valuable to the world. Whatever you have to say, this is a time that you'll be heard. So step by step by step by step, whatever you create right now is going to be very, very special as we move toward this full moon in Leo at the end of the month. And the animal card associated with this new moon theme for Virgo is the cat. And it's kind of interesting. The cat is kind of sitting kind of cocked to the side, so it almost looks like it's unstable. So I would say that you need to really trust in what you feel, what you know, and what makes you feel special. And the message here with the cat is it's time to strike out on your own and relinquish your overdependency on others. That means create a new path for yourself. Trust in your own heart. Trust in your own knowing. Have fun. That's the message that's so, so important. Play games and just laugh and enjoy life. It's very, very important. Virgo is typically a very serious sign that's always processing everything. Everything takes, there's steps involved. So you want to do is have fun while you break things down, analyze them, and find out where they fit in your life. So have some fun this month, Virgo. Okay, so now we're going to move on to Libra. And Libra, there's a lot of energy here for you. So if you're a Libra rising or a Libra sun sign, what's most important to you this next 2 weeks is your family, your relationships with family. And there's a certain sense of seriousness that's attached to this. And I would say that there's a lot of love. If you have a business that you're building with family members or friends that are like family, this is a really special time for you. This month there are some growing pains that you're experiencing, but at the same time, there's a realization of your talents. And there's a letting go of what was and an opening of your heart to the new and what's going to change your life. And so put your energy into your family or your friends that are your family, because this is where the value is. And the animal card associated with your path, Libra, is the penguin. I love penguins. I always think about happy feet whenever I think about penguins. I used to stand at the bus stop with my daughter and dance, and she'd have a fit about that, but I did it anyway. So the message here for the penguin is this is a period of darkness that you've been experiencing. So that this period of darkness that you've been experiencing is now passing. So whatever those issues were around family, let it fall away. And because underneath there's a treasure chest, and it is filled with peace and harmony and love. So this is a really important time. If you think about penguins, they live in huge pods and families, and they all protect each other like the empire penguins. They gather together when there's big storms, and the babies are at the center, and the parents all lean in together, and they stick together, and they survive. And so this is really important. The family unit, this next 2 weeks is the most important thing to you. So we'll move on now to talk about Scorpio. So Scorpio sun signs, Scorpio rising signs, this new moon theme for you is all around making decisions. And Scorpio is the strongest water sign of the zodiac because it's fixed. That means that it's not so easy for them to always let go of what was. But the most important thing for the Scorpio is to identify what's toxic so that you can change it. So it's kind of like pearl diving. This is going to be a time of mentally diving deep to identify what it is that's most important in your life. Is it your siblings? Is it your business? Is it your neighbors? Contracts, agreements? This is the time that you can form relationships that really make a difference in your life. But take the time to identify what is the most important that needs to change. Let go of it, and then this is where evolution happens for you. So this is a really important month for you. And there could be some really special contracts, agreements that you get involved in that are going to make a difference as you move forward. So the animal card associated with Scorpio is the blue heron. And as I look at this, I think about an experience I had with a blue heron years ago. I'm driving down a highway. My daughter's in the car, and we look beside us, and there's a blue heron flying with a snake in its beak. And I was like, whoa, that's really intense. And Scorpio is a very intense sign. So there is a special meaning, like I said, to every animal that crosses your path. So that was a really important message for me. But for you, the message here this next 2 weeks is make a stand for what you believe in and do what feels right in spite of any judgment or disapproval from others. So stand up for yourself. Believe in yourself. And I would encourage you to put your left hand over your heart and your right hand over it and say, I'm worth it. And believe it, acknowledge it, and talk about it, because this is a really important time for you. Stay in the light, identify what's not working, but stay in the light as you move through this next couple weeks. And there's a huge there's going to be some important messages that you gather along the way at this time. So now we're moving on to Sagittarius. So if you're a Sagittarius sun sign or a Sagittarius rising sign, the most important thing for you is to focus on your finances. Focus on your money. Spend some time identifying your spending habits, looking at your spending habits, look at your budget. Very, very important. This is where there's going to be some transition over the course of this next couple of weeks. And I would say that this is going to be a really great 2 weeks for you, but I would caution you around being careful with your money and your family and lending any money. Nurture yourself, care for yourself, but don't get caught up in relationships that enable you or enable others. Focus on your finances, your values, your sense of worth. Look at what you have and the abundance that surrounds you, because this is actually a very, very abundant couple weeks for you. And the animal card that's associated with this Sagittarius sun sign or rising sign is the mouse. And the message of the mouse is you're overlooking some important details. So pay close attention to what's going on. And these details are associated with your pocketbook, with your portfolio. So whatever it is that you identify that you'd like to change during this time, there is a concentration, there's support from the universe, there's spiritual support, there's emotional support. So this is a great time for you to take a look at your finances and to evaluate what's best and what's not best. Capricorn. So if you're a Capricorn sun sign or if you're a Capricorn rising sign, this month, this new theme that's unfolding over the course of the next couple of weeks is going to be very much focused on you, your self-development, and for you to learn or to put your energy into anything that you can build on and that improves your life and changes your life. This is associated with business. Capricorn is the business sign. It's the government sign. It is the sign of big business. And it's also associated with teaching. So there's a lot that you're going to be learning over the course of these next couple weeks. So basically, when I talk about a new moon theme, I'm talking about this very day, which the new moon occurred late, as we entered into this day. So that energy begins to unfold every single day until we reach the next new moon. And so every day as you look up in the sky and you see that moon get a little brighter with the shining of the sun on the moon, because the moon has no light of its own, this is a time where every day when you look up at that moon, something new is building. And it's probably to do with your own self-development. So business, focus on your business, focus on self-development, focus on what it is that you're learning, because this is a really important time for you. And there is some real abundance that's associated with this for you. So anything you learn right now is going to be really important. So you're building a whole new portfolio basically for yourself. And Capricorn is an earth sign. So Capricorn is very much associated with practical, logical, realistic. So that's where you should say really focused on. That's where you're going to find the most positive returns. And the animal card associated with this new moon cycle for Capricorn is the polar bear. And he's got his head looking up toward the stars. So he's looking for guidance. And so the message for Capricorn for this next month is stand up for yourself and speak your truth respectfully and compassionately with no attachment to the outcome. So let go of control, very, very important. Trust and keep the faith. And if there's any fear that comes up, just realize that's part of being human, and that take a couple minutes or whatever it is, the amount of time you need to figure out what's real about that fear and what's not real. Because Capricorn is ruled by Saturn, and it's the planet of responsibility, limitation. But the most important thing for Capricorn right now is to trust that whatever it is you put out is what you're going to get back. So that's, I think, the most important message for Capricorn. And because this new moon is in Capricorn, this is an important time for you. So look at what you're building, let go of what's not working, and stay focused on walking ahead. So now we're going to move on to Aquarius, the brilliant sign of the zodiac. And we're about to enter, we have already entered into the energy of the age of Aquarius since December 21st, when Saturn and Jupiter were aligned. And we saw that beautiful alignment that happened when the baby Jesus was born. Then we saw it in the east. This time we saw it in the west. And my take on that was that whatever began back at the time of Jesus' birth, now we're finding the end of an age, a conclusion. So the west is where the sun goes down. So there's a lot that's finding completion right now. and there's a lot that's starting over. So we need to open our hearts to recognize what that is. And the biggest message for you for this month ahead, Aquarius, Aquarius rising sign or Aquarius sun sign, is to put your energy into doing things behind the scenes. Meditation, journey work, getting in touch with the things that you've packed down inside that you don't really want to take a look at. Aquarius can be very detached from emotion, so slow down and take a look at what you feel. Take some time to sit and to be present with your deepest feelings. That's going to be where you're going to find the most gain over this next month. And the other thing that's really important is to look at the strategy. Take some time to strategize around some personal self-development areas, because there's a lot of information, there's a lot of concentration on you on a very personal level. And so you want to take a look at what's best for everyone, but primarily, if you're not okay, then the rest of the world is not going to be okay. If you're not in a good relationship with yourself, you're not going to be in a good relationship with the rest of the world. So take some time to sit quietly, to get out in nature, to walk. Just get in touch with your deepest, most emotional, sensitive parts of yourself. That's going to be the most important thing for you this month. And the card, the animal card that's associated with this sign is the rattlesnake. That is a powerful, powerful card. And the rattlesnake in this picture is surrounded by yellow, which is a lot of light, a lot of spiritual support. And the messages, the experiences that you're presently going through are an initiation into fulfilling your purpose as a healer. So this is a really, really important month for you. If there's any secrets that suddenly surface for you, they're going to be very important for you to recognize. If there's anything that's surfacing that you've packed way down, it's important to allow yourself to walk through that. You know, a lot of times when something's uncomfortable, we want to run away from it. We don't want to hear it. We close off toward it. But this is a time for you this next month to really step into this. Walk through it. Just put on your big boy boots and walk through this, because this is really important. Whatever it is that you gain intuitively or psychically or emotionally is very, very special right now. And the rattlesnake is all about evolving. And there's power in this time for you. There's strength in this time for you. Shed your skin from the past. And this is very powerful, very, very powerful time. There's a lot of healing that's happening for you right now. So just step into this energy, Aquarius. This is a great month for you to really get in touch with your deepest emotions and feelings and not run from them or detach from them. Okay, so now we're moving on to Pisces. So if you're a Pisces rising sign or a Pisces sun sign, this is going to be a really important month for you in your friendships, your community. Put your energy into some type of community effort where you can make a difference, because that is where there is this powerful transition happening. And I'm seeing this intuitively, that there's a lot of support that you don't even know is out there. I just went through a really difficult month, and I did not realize that there were so many people that loved me and that were there to support me until I started calling out for help. So put yourself out there, call someone, ask to, can I help you? Can I make, what can I do for you? And, become a part of something bigger than being at home. There's safe ways of doing everything right now. Be smart about it and recognize your boundaries, but, just do something nice for a friend or ask for help from a friend. that's going to be the most important piece for you over the course of this next month. And Pisces is a sign that has, it's ruled by Neptune, the planet Neptune. So there's this boundaryless type of energy that's present here. But I want to encourage you to be aware of boundaries and what you're responsible for and what you're not. And also to listen to your dreams. Pay attention to your dreams. And if there are any dreams that you have, they're going to be really important. So take some time to do some research on what those dreams might be. Doreen Virtue is a really good resource on dreams. And the animal card that's associated with this month for you is the mountain goat. And this, this is actually the symbol of Capricorn, the mountain goat. And in Capricorn, this new moon in Capricorn, when you look at the symbology of Capricorn, you see a goat in the front and the tail of a dolphin. So Capricorn is one of the most unevolved signs of the zodiac. That means they're always climbing to new heights. And so for you Pisces, this is a time of being more structured, being more involved in your community, and letting go of the fear and any concern about loss. Do be careful, take care that you're safe and that you're well. However, the message here is there's something out of balance in your life. Do whatever you need to do to correct it. So I think that's probably your involvement in the world and being a part of the whole and recognizing what that means to you. So it's really important to, this card is really supportive of climbing to a new height, but recognize what's out of balance, form a strategy of how you're going to get there, and trust and believe, which is typically a really powerful part of the Pisces energy. So I'd say that this next month is going to be really special for you, and you may even meet some new people, make some new friends, get involved in some community efforts. So that's going to be the most important part. And there's something before we conclude here today. I want to read you a little something about the archangel that's associated with January with Capricorn, because for every sign of the zodiac, there's an angel that is associated, that is there primarily to support you on this period of your life of your evolution. And so to invoke or to ask for help during this time, call upon the archangel Cassiel. And you can say, "Beloved Cassiel, I ask you to please remove all blocks that I have to the awareness of love's presence. May I come to know and love myself and recognize my true self in everyone, to experience a world of peace and love. Thank you." So, what I'm getting around this is that approach life with love rather than fear, resentment, envy, jealousy. Those things need to fall to the wayside. If you approach things from a loving place, that's what you're going to get back. Everyone, thanks for tuning in to Turn to the Stars. And remember, turn to the stars and you'll find your answers there. And I look forward to seeing you soon. I'm going to be coming back with the full moon in Leo in 2 weeks and talking about what that means for each and every one of you. So look up into the sky at night, see that light growing on the moon with the moon, and know that we're all in this together and that we're on a path toward a whole new age, the age of Aquarius. Thanks for tuning in. Have a great week.